Yeah.
She's just joining our book club as well.
Yeah, Mimi will have a lot to say. She'll talk the whole time. Okay, cool. I think it just went live.
Yes.
Did it show up? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I just got notified too. Yep.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book Club Live Show.
Hello.
Very excited. I mean, I'm not very excited, but I'm excited to chat with you guys. Not about the book, but just in general. So
you're here for
yeah. Hello, let's see. Hello, Natalie.
Hello.
We also have Mimi here, but she's blocked by my name, but she is here and she will talk too. So a little special guest.
Too.
Yeah. A little special guest. No, I don't think I've ever asked you. Do you have any animals?
No, my husband and daughter are both allergic, so
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sadly.
I know your parents have
many pets. Yeah, my parents have a lot of pets, or did. They used to have more, but yeah.
Okay.
I always grew up with pets.
Aw.
Yeah. I want a cat, but who knows?
That's so cute. Mimi is a one cat person though. One cat. She can't.
Yeah.
She should be fine with another cat, but
yeah. She's so cute. Hey, Monica.
All my time. Hello, Monica. Oh, you just finished the Charlie Method. Oh, okay.
I felt like that whole, I haven't read that one yet, but I feel like the first 2 books, they've been really long too.
That's the only reason I think I gave them 4 stars, is because I was like, this is way too long for a contemporary.
Yeah, same.
Are you reading anything currently? I saw you finished a book.
Yeah, no, because I just finished some stuff, so I have to figure out what I'm going to read next. I don't know yet.
I paused. I was in the middle of The Rose Bargain. It's that pink YA fantasy.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
Hang on. I saw it at Barnes & Noble, but this one. Oh. This one?
Oh, okay.
That's a horrible picture, but it's like a YA-ish.
Who's it by?
Sasha Payton Smith.
Oh, okay.
I saw an unboxing for Fairy Loots, like a romantasy YA and then adult, and this is the YA one. So
you paused it then? Were you not liking it, or you just, or you
no, I paused it to read book club.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'll go back to it. But hi, Taylor.
Yeah. Hello.
And then I think I'm gonna pick up my Wild Side ALC. Lexi also gave it 4 stars.
Interesting. Good to know. And I feel like it's an interesting choice because, I felt like that one was going to be hinted at that it was going to be MMF, and then she did MFM, which is interesting. So,
yeah. I don't know why people choose polyamorous if they do MFM versus MMF.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
same.
Rather than just everyone joining in type of a thing.
For sure.
But okay, cool. So Harlem Rhapsody by, oh my gosh, her name. I just blanked.
Victoria Christopher Murray.
Yes. I had to, my audiobook still said 2 weeks from the library. So I had to I had to use a credit to listen to it.
Oh no.
But it's fine. I mean, people are taking their long time on that book, but it's fine. No sword crossing. Yeah.
That's how I felt. Yeah. I mean, I haven't read it, but that's how I felt. Like I was more excited to go in, and then I was like, oh, I'll wait a bit if it's MFM.
Yeah. Anyway, if you read Harlem Rhapsody, let us know what you thought, your rating, and if you listened to the audiobook versus if you physically read it. Just because I'm always curious to know. So, what did you rate it, Christy? I know I asked you, but you kept your rating. You were like,
I know. I kept it a secret. Well, I wanted to see what you were thinking first.
Yeah.
But so I did the audiobook, and I think I'm going to give it 4 stars.
Okay. Interesting. Now, I'm going to say this, but I DNF'd it, and it's a soft DNF, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, um, I softy enough
Mm,
because I am in a huge romanticy mood, and so I think I made it 20-ish% in.
okay. So more than the other time we had talked.
Yeah, like,
You
I
got
tried to
further.
listen to it all day today,
Mhm.
and because I had, like, audiobook time while I was working, and
Yeah.
I just could not stay invested. Like, I care about her story and what she's doing, but there's certain parts
Yes.
that I didn't care about, so we can talk about that, but,
Mhm.
listen to the
Mm.
audio, give it 3.5, okay. Oh, I meant to click this one. Listen to the audiobook, gave it 4 stars. 4 stars, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The same comment. I was like, "Why did it pop up
Mhm.
twice?" But, so I know I wanna finish it because 1, I have the audiobook forever now because I bought it with
Yeah.
it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like the history part of it if
Mhm.
I'm once am in that mood, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I didn't get to this
Ooh,
one. I'm about to start the
that's a good choice.
one. Yeah. Okay, so what was your thoughts overall, Christy? Loved? What parts you liked about it? Stuff like that.
Um, so, like, it could be a 3.5, but I kept going back and forth, like 3.5, a 4 star, because there was things, like you were saying, like, I really liked the heroine, Jessie, like, her story, and obviously everything that she did for I was gonna say the name of the title instead of the, like, Harlem Renaissance, and so, like, everything she did for that, and, like, it was really cool seeing her because as you go more into the book, you get some of her, like, in the publishing world, like, she really was an editor and, like, got all these, like, famous people that we know today, like Langston Hughes and some other poets as well, that she really was their first editor, got a start for them, so that was really cool to see, but it was the romance of it all, which I felt kinda weird about that, which I always feel weird when it's real historical people in history. Because like, immediately I was like, "Is this true? Like, did this really happen, or is this?" And so I was, like, looking it up because I'm like, "Okay, if it's true, that's one thing, but, like, if it's not, it feels weird to, like, do that to people who are no longer alive," you know? So I looked it up and like the author or like it was saying that there was rumors, but it was never like actually true if they did. And then of course the author's note at the end kind of talks about it as well. So like that part, I don't know, I still feel kind of strange about that because I feel like it's like a sticky situation. But that whole part, it was just so toxic, like their relationship. And like I got it though, because of things that happened in the story. And I really liked how I could just keep going. Like independent she was and really wanted to like focus on her career. Like she wasn't somebody trying to have a family, get married, all of that. And so I liked it. But yeah, so
She
I have
still has a romance with Will, the one that's married,
mhm. Yes.
throughout the whole book? Okay.
And it's very
Interesting.
back and forth. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
More historical.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting, okay.
Literally all of that. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, so I'm at the part where she has mentioned that her mother, right? Her mother asks her, and this is where I'm hard because I struggle with why I DNF it, is because I
Mhm.
want to focus on the history part of it, because when she's talking about like finding um, young Black creatives, I
Yes.
find that
Mhm.
really interesting. But then it switches to her talking to Will. I'm like, I don't, I don't care about this part of it. Like,
Yeah.
she has like lunch with his wife and she meets his child. I'm like,
Mhm.
I know it's supposed to be like back then, like affairs were like a ooh ah thing. And she was talking to her mom about it. And her mom was like, where do you think this is going to go? Like, what do you
Mhm.
expect? And she was like, I love Will, but I understand that it's not going to go anywhere. I'm trying to
Mhm.
focus on my career. I'm like, cool. Well, I guess I'm curious of why she continues with it, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because that's the one part where I check out when she talks to Will. But then
Mhm.
when she talks about the crisis and being an editor and
Yeah.
starting up that and finding like I get very like invested. So it's like a
Mhm.
weird, and usually I like romances in my historical fiction, but I feel like this one I'm like, I don't know where it's gonna go. I feel very
Yeah.
weird about it.
Mhm. Well, and it's like he's married and it can't really go anywhere, like, obviously, unless he's going to divorce his wife, which he seems to have no interest in doing, and, like, he's yeah, and it just Like, do you care about spoilers or not really?
No.
Or okay. Well, it doesn't say because she finds out later, like, she's not the only one he's having an affair with. So,
Oh,
like,
okay.
he has multiple women, and, like, that's one of the things and his wife knows about all of them, and she's kinda like, "I like the life you're giving me. You do whatever you want, like, behind closed doors," type of situation, and he's like, "She knows I'm, like, creative, and, like, that's how I find inspiration and, like, have outlets, and, like, I need, like, to be with all these women," and, like, but then again, like, since these are real people, it feels so weird because the, like, W.E.B. Du Bois, like, or Du Bois, his name, like, he's, a huge, like, civil rights activist and this,
Yeah.
like, huge influential person, so it just felt strange, I guess, kind of reading some of this stuff about them, which, I mean, I guess it shows everybody has flaws and, like,
Yeah.
imperfections.
So there was a conversation in the part that I watched that I listened to while I was working. I think she asked Will, and Will was like basically saying that like I was so grateful to her that she gave me a child, that like I have a child in the
Mhm.
world. I'm at that conversation. It was like I stopped right after that conversation that they had, and he kind of
Yeah.
alluded to that like she knows
Mhm.
that we have a thing, because she was like, "Of course you didn't come up in our lunch." Like I tried to like
Yeah.
not do it, and because the lunch was really weird, the wife was like, "You don't know where we live?"
Mhm. Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, you don't call him Will?"
Yeah. I'm like, I was like, this is
Yeah.
this is a weird, like I don't know, it's a weird
Mhm.
dynamic. Oh, mommy, what do you
Which
feel about
that
it?
part was interesting too, because then when Jesse goes to Will and is telling him, like, "You like, months later, you didn't ask about that conversation?" He's like, "I didn't care. Had nothing to do with me." And she's like, "What?" And so it's like she makes everything about him where he's like, "That doesn't, like, matter to me. That had nothing to do with me. Like, I wasn't there. That's between you 2."
Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
yeah. I guess because when I go into a historical fiction book, I don't expect an HEA at all, obviously.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so if anyone like in the women, obviously, like going back to that one, because I know
Mhm.
Monica's about to read it, she has different relationships between like friendships, all
Yeah.
of that, like throughout the book. Mimi,
Mhm.
okay, I'll get you pets after. Um, but I find it interesting that like I never usually get attached, if
Mm.
that makes sense. I usually never get attached, and so I just am so surprised that I literally don't care. Like I now that I know she's really focused on her career, I'm like, I just care about her career. I want to know what she's done. I want to
Yeah.
focus on that part. So when we go back and forth,
Mhm.
I find it hard to pay attention to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Which
like,
it does go, like, good amount of times where they're not together, like, they split
okay,
up and kinda go their separate ways, or he's off doing whatever he's doing, and so it really shows her, like, career and kind of all of that, but then he'll, like, come back around and she gets just, like, swept up back into it again, and so there's a lot of that, like, kinda just back and forth, which she even has some, like, kinda, like, meta conversations about the whole because she's writing a book too later, and her character, she's like, "Do I give this character an HEA and like with the guy, or does she focus on her career?" So she has conversations with him
interesting.
about that and like also, what she's going through. So it's interesting, but like, yeah, it just felt not needed. I don't know.
It's weird, the audiobook not weird, but the audiobook has, like, singing in it for, like, the time
Mm,
of, like, living where she lives in Harlem and stuff like that, and I like it, but I'm like, when you're listening at, like, 2 times speed, when she
yeah.
starts singing, it's like, I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
I like to slow it down and listen to it, but they come out of nowhere, so
Hmm. Yeah.
have you ever read anything from this author before, though?
No, I haven't. I like had never heard of her before, but then I went like used book shopping this weekend and I saw another book from her that she's co-written that looked more like a traditional type of historical fiction, I guess, type of title. It was like something librarian, like the personal librarian or something. And so,
Yeah,
because
so
I didn't know this was like I didn't know she had other books.
yeah, so on the cover of, like, the audiobook, at the bottom, it says, "Co-author of The Personal Librarian."
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Which this one is about oh, JP Morgan's Personal Librarian.
Ooh.
But didn't you just read a book in that blog? I
Yeah.
watched it, you were talking about JP Morgan's daughter and
Yes.
how she worked at the Paris Library.
Yeah. Which that one was
Interesting.
really good, and that was funny because that character's name was Jessie, and then I literally jumped into this book, also named Jesse, and it was like a year apart. I was like, okay, I just left World War One and like Spanish influenza. Now we're getting into like literally the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the same character name. But I did like at the end of this, like the author's note. It was a really long author's note, which I feel like historical fiction, like they kind of need sometimes. And
Yeah.
she was talking about how she knew, like the author knows a lot about these different like time periods and stuff, and obviously about a lot of like Black authors and creatives of the time who got their start, but that she had never heard of Jesse, and like how she was literally like, standing these people up and giving them a platform to write. And so that's what she was saying, she wanted to tell her story because so many women in history like don't get their stories told. So I did like that, and like her whole career.
Yeah. There was a part where I was like, oof, they were talking about um I forgot who she wasn't talking to Will, it was like an older man, but she was saying that when someone is lynched, we're going to put it on
Mhm.
the front of everything so everyone can see. And I was like, sometimes it's like such a normal, like a normal part of the conversation, like those topics, because back then it was like just what was happening at the time. But like hearing it now, it's like so jarring that I'm like, like I'd be like, I couldn't imagine that just being a normal
Right.
part of life. And then she's talking about how someone has to go down to Georgia and that you have to be careful because
Yeah.
it's not the same as being up here, which totally understand. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, especially for the time, like, yeah. And, like, because Will, like, he was one of the founders of the NAACP, and, like, how I think she was talking to him at that part, like, he was going down to the South for that, like,
that's
committee's
what it was.
conference
Yes.
or convention or something, and she's like,
Yes.
"Really? The South is gonna put that on? Okay."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so interesting because like back then in Atlanta and like bigger cities in the South, they had a high Black population that was really, really, really pushing towards civil rights. Like obviously Martin Luther King comes like way
Mhm.
later in time, but that is like a lot of civil rights activists at the time would go into the South to push for it because
Mhm.
they wanted to like bring that population, like you can stand up and fight, you can stand up and protest, you can use your voice and fight back
Yeah.
type of a thing. So like I do like
Mhm.
it. I mean, I love how raw that historical fiction authors can write about that stuff. Like it's a
Yeah.
part of what happened, like never shy away from that. um and I like that it was mentioned, but it was so like, oh my god, it was just taken back a little bit.
Mhm.
But she
For
has
sure.
the co-written book that she
Uh-huh.
did, The Personal Librarian, that one's more about JP Morgan, how he wanted to like have a curated library for him.
Okay.
It talks about like different things. And then she has another co-written book, but it's called The
Interesting.
First Ladies, and it's about the partnership between Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and a civil rights
Mhm.
activist, Mary McLeod Bethune.
Okay.
So that was
Interesting.
interesting. And how Mary, she's a civil rights activist. She was the daughter of formerly enslaved parents.
Mm. Interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize she had such a massive, like, backlist.
Yeah, those two, I wonder why she co-wrote those books and then this
Mhm.
one is not co-written. Maybe she's trying to
Yeah.
just branch out. On Audible, she has a bunch of like, it looks like some romance books.
That's what I was just looking on Goodreads. I was like, I think some of these are just, like, contemporary romances or something.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, I have seen that cover for The First Ladies.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
seen the covers before, but
Yeah.
um I think
Hmm.
this is, if I'm not mistaken, um I thought this was, if I read correctly, it was like kind of like a autobiography, but not autobiography because it was
Which
about all
one?
of,
This or The First
yeah,
Ladies?
sorry,
Oh, this.
Harlem Rhapsody, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was shelved like that on Goodreads.
Oh, okay. I was trying to find it here in Audible, but I don't know if they did that. But I do like the narrator. Like that's not my problem. Usually sometimes when I DNF an audiobook,
Mhm.
it's like because I didn't like the narrator or whatever the case may be. But I actually really
Yeah.
like this narrator. I think she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
But I wish I would have, like, stuck with it, but I just did not have any, like,
Yeah.
desire to keep going with it, like, right now, and I'm like, I just wanna read romantasy book romantasy books, so, like,
Yeah.
when I'm in that historical fiction mood, when I want like, I'll go through phases where I'll read, like, 2 or 3,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
yes, let me just love that,"
Yeah. Yeah.
but
And, like, with Lexia's comment, like, about the whole Will situation, it's like, I don't know if she coulda told her story, though, without him being a focus of the story too, you know what I mean? Like, their lives are so intertwined and, like, their work, obviously. So, like, I don't know, it's like I wanted less of it, but also, like, it'd be hard to tell her story without it, you know?
yeah, like,
Because
I
they
get it that
influence each other.
she just from the beginning part where I read where he is, like, the reason why she goes
Yeah.
and moves there and, like, starts her life there and, like, gives her this platform and her
Mhm.
not like I don't wanna say giving her the start, but, like, in that time, being a
Yeah.
woman in any
Mhm.
career, in any
Yeah.
whatever it is, you need some type of, like, jump start, right? You need someone to get
Right.
your foot in the door, and he kind of did that for her and, like, gave
Mhm.
her that platform so that she could find all these other Black creatives, so
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Mhm.
definitely yes, it was definitely messy from what I was
Yeah.
reading,
Yeah.
but it's hard when it's like w I feel like she was so focused on her career, even though she loved Will, she was just it seemed like she was just getting the physical side of the
Mhm.
romance.
Mhm.
That's where it seemed like it was going towards, that she was
Yeah. Which
didn't
is
wanna get
fine. She
married.
could have just done that, had fun with him, but don't get, like, emotionally invested and pulled in, you know what I mean? Like, just
Does
say what it
she
is.
does she end up married at all at the end of the book?
So it talks about it in the author's note that she does, I think when she's close to 50 or something, like
Okay.
40, like maybe 48 or something, yeah, to somebody else.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. The dogs are coming. We're pet sitting Brandon's parents'
Oh,
dog,
that's
and
right.
she's a lab. She's like 80 something pounds.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, Missy and her are like best friends. They
Oh,
play and
good,
stuff.
okay.
But when they both
Yeah.
come downstairs, it's like a stampede. Brandon just let them downstairs. So sorry if you hear them. But yeah, it's another author that I really want to focus on and like read more from. Kind of like you read Victoria. Stampede. No, babe, I'm doing a live show on YouTube. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, they said hi. Like, what the heck? No. Um, sorry. And you read the Janet Charles. I can't ever pronounce the middle name, but
Oh,
you
I
read a
know.
book
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
recently on in that vlog, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, maybe her writing does get like better and better and better, and it's
Yeah.
more interesting."
Mhm.
So she's another
Yeah.
author that this Victoria
Mhm.
Christopher, blah, blah, I can never remember names, but
Murray.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see where she goes being a like solo author with no
Yeah.
co-writing and historical fiction,
Same, yeah.
and see what else she writes about.
Mhm.
I'm very intrigued though.
Yeah. I know, I might check out one of those co-written ones as well, and then just, like, I mean, because this book just came out this
Yeah,
month, so, like, obviously, she probably won't have another one this year, but just, yeah, keeping an eye on other stuff she does as well.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, co-written books. Look, our December pick was amazing. So,
I know, it's true. Yeah.
do we want to announce our next book?
Sure, you have or do you have it with you or no?
No, it's upstairs.
Okay, I
I
don't have
forgot
it.
that. I didn't think about that when I was like, yeah, I'll do my live show in here. So we're taking a little bit of a backlist approach, and by
Yes.
backlist, I did not realize that this book came out in 2013. But we are reading. Let me pull up the photo. Do you have a physical copy of it?
No, mm-mm.
No. So we're reading Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. So this is set in New Orleans, which I'm pretty sure it's during the 1950s, but the back of the book didn't actually say that.
Okay,
Yeah, 1950s in the French
okay.
Quarter. And follows 17-year-old Josie, and she is known as the daughter of a prostitute in New Orleans. Like a lot of people
Mm,
know her mom. So she wants to
interesting.
branch out. So
Okay.
I've read a decent amount of Ruta Sepetys' book. Have you? Did I just ask that? Have you read anything by her?
I've only read one by her, and I forgot that I hated it.
What book?
I think it was one you did for like the sea one, salt something.
Oh, Salt to the Sea. Okay.
Yeah, which I think you didn't really care for it either. Like you said, it wasn't her greatest. So like
Yes.
maybe yeah,
I was
just
looking
that
I was
one.
looking to be like, oh, no. So, I read Between Shades of Grey, which is actually like
Okay.
I think a movie now, and that
Mhm.
one was very, like, hard-hitting. But I will say I read it when I was reading, like when I was first getting into my historical fiction journey,
Oh, okay.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I found her. I did read The Fountains of Silence, which was one of her newer
Oh, I
ones.
see that one a ton. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's in, I think, Milan. No, it's
Okay.
not. Madrid? Madrid, Spain.
Mm. Mhm.
So it talks about the leader during that time, and I did
Mhm.
enjoy that one, but I loved Between Shades of Grey more.
Okay.
Um, I Must Betray You, I think that's her newer one.
Mhm.
Trying to look on Amazon what she has. She has a bunch of, like, um, they've been translated. But
Oh.
this is one of the last ones I have to read in her backlist. I have to read that I Must Betray You, but I had Out of the Easy on my shelf, so it's been on there. But
Yeah. I like the cover for it too. It's really pretty.
yeah, if you look on Google, they have like updated ones. Like this is the updated one, so they have previous ones. But
Yeah. I
I
had
do,
seen a different cover of it first, and that one was like, I was like, "Is this a horror? Like, what's happening?" Like, it was a
no, I think this
birdcage
is more
situation.
of like a mystery too.
Okay.
So like it has a little bit more of a mystery than some of her other books. So I'm very excited. But the
Mhm.
paperback is only $9.99 on Amazon right now. So if anyone wants to buy
That's
it,
not bad.
brand new, yeah.
Yeah.
But my libraries have the audiobook, they have the ebook available. So
Yeah,
so if you
same.
want let me see. Let me place my hold on it now if there is one. But when I check, yeah, no, there's not one.
Mhm. Yeah, I already grabbed it when we were talking about it. When
Yeah.
was that? This weekend? Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to do a little bit of a backlist one because there is a bunch of
Mhm.
like newer ones that I know you said,
Yeah.
and then I put together my March TBR and I was looking at
Yeah.
my March releases and I realized there was actually a decent amount coming out, but like we
Yeah.
need a backlist book.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm cool reading any. Giving them a
I
try.
keep reading so many.
I know. I think I am gonna start another one too. Like, I got another one from the library that I'll probably get to next as my next audio. So, I'm just, like, in a historical fiction mood right now.
I mean, hey, go with it. Have you had a 5-star this year of a historical fiction?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I think a lot of 4s though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the problem with like trying new authors and stuff. You never know how you're gonna vibe with them and see how
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna go.
Mhm.
But we should do a historical fiction readathon maybe.
Yes. When you're in the mood to read them. A lot
Yeah.
of them.
I don't know what is up, why I'm in this like romanticy mood, but like all month I read mostly romanticy.
Have you been finding a lot of, like, new favorites?
I've like started the Guild series or the Plated Prisoner series, and I
Oh,
really
okay.
like that. I've read the Melissa K. Rourke books.
Mhm.
Um, I finished out the Scarlett St. Clair series, which I mean, like I love this series. It's nostalgic, but I give the last book
Mhm.
3 stars just because it's
Oh,
really
okay.
long. So like,
Yeah.
but it's like a nostalgic series for me. So, but yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just in the mood to read all of it.
Mhm.
Never read anything by this author. Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
she is surprisingly like a popular, more like YA historical fiction. Like her characters are a little bit younger,
Yeah.
so I'm excited to read about it and chat. Of course, it takes place in New Orleans. This one does, so I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And Mardi Gras is on Tuesday,
Yeah, it's
so
coming up, right? Mhm. Very cool.
usually sometimes it's in February, but this year's it's March. It's beginning of March. So,
Yeah. Mhm.
but I'm excited to read this one. But
Mhm.
I feel bad that I
Me too.
DNF'd this book though. But
It happens.
you know,
Yeah. And sometimes, like, trying to force it if you're not in the mood for that type of, like, certain genre read at that time, it's better.
yeah.
to just set it
I
down for
realized
now.
that, like, I'd rather DNF a book and come back to it when I'm in the mood for it and have, like, a higher
Yeah.
rating than, like, push through and give it a lower rating just to say that I
Yeah.
finished it. That's my vibe this year. 'Cause, like, I've DNF'd, like, 3 or 4 books already in February, which I never, but it's, like, soft DNFs. It's like,
Mhm.
I'm not vibing, I wanna come back to it type of a thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, well, my
Mhm.
Texas, but
Mhm.
short live show, I don't have anything else to say, do you?
No, I don't either.
We love a
I
short
think we
live show.
were kind of all on the same page in the comments too about it.
Yeah, but I'm
Mhm.
excited for next month's too. But we haven't picked a date yet, but we'll post it on our Instagrams whenever,
Totally, yep.
because we're going on a trip
Yes.
in the middle of March. Well, towards the end of March, so we gotta pick a date
Yeah,
featuring all the other live shows too. So
I know.
thank you guys for joining us in the comments. We always love chatting.
Yeah.
But
Enjoy the women, Monica.
yeah, Monica, DMs are open.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
reactions type of a
So good. Yeah.
so okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for joining, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.